Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Inside the Walls podcast. It's just me and Jeff today because our partner in crime in Oklahoma is a little bit under the weather. So, crap, I've already messed up the intro, and this is the 180th episode I've done this show, and I messed up the intro. I'm Jim Renee, the host of the show. Alongside me is my partner in crime from West Virginia, Jeff Blumener. How you doing, Jeff?
Good, buddy. Good.
Well, today's episode is pretty special. We have a guy that we've been wanting to get on for multiple episodes, almost a couple of years now, honestly. Maybe because of our ties of our favorite college football team. Um, but we'll discuss some recaps around the National Arena League, some three intriguing games, and big statement in Denver. That was a performance we didn't expect that, especially when we talked about this past week. Omaha almost trying to push away to the division lead, and Willing gets back with a big series win over the Carolina Cobras. What's your first observations of the week there, Jeff?
I we said it coming in. It's gonna be a big week, and we'll touch on it here when we get Greg on. But what a statement by the Colorado Spartans! I mean, running into a hot team in Idaho who looked really good the week before, and made some strides the previous week, and then to get blanked against the Spartans. That's crazy. Coach Negron picks up his first rivalry win and his first win with the Omaha Beef against the Sioux City Bandits. So that was awesome to see. And then I got to witness firsthand Wheeling in Carolina. Great atmosphere in Wheeling. Was a great game to call, and a lot of fun. And that was the Wheeling team that we expected.
Well, again, there's still a lot of football to be had, and keep an eye out on NAL social media over the next couple of days as they will make the determination of what the postseason format will be, so we know exactly what the actual format is. So pay attention to nationalarenaleague.com for more information, or Inside the Walls podcast. Oh yeah, I forgot to do all of that. I forgot to do all the little, the little gimmicks thing. Follow us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, Podcast Addict, and of course, nwallsnet.com for all the podcast information. And we'll get to break down the games more and tell, but we'll start off with this one. The first right off the bat, Colorado dominating the Idaho Horsemen 49-0. And it's done by a colleague from Florida State University, Greg Dent Jr. Greg, welcome to the show, man. Can you hear us?
Yeah, what's up, man?
I said, welcome to the show. You just...
How's it going?
Greg, first off, welcome again. Big time win. It looks like Colorado's starting to find their groove. Got some good wins up ahead. Dominating statement win, 49-0 over an Idaho team that looked like they were finding themselves over a couple of weeks. You put that to rest last week in Denver Coliseum. Preparation for that game, you almost played a flawed game and get that win over Idaho.
Yeah, as far as like preparation, we go out every day, just try to be 1% better every day. We challenge each other, the offense and the defense. Um, so when the games come, it's a lot easier. But like you said, we play Idaho Horsemen. We end up winning 49-0. We didn't really expect to goose egg them, but just because I guess that just shows like our team coming together. Like, yeah, we played the Vegas team. I just think that was kind of like that gave us that spark and led us up into the Idaho game. And so when that happened, that just fired us even more.
That for me, watching you basically almost your whole entire career, from Tallahassee to, I don't know how you got up to Denver, but you spent a short stint there in Duke City, so you basically have been an indoor/arena legend over the last few years. You're considered like the old man now on some of these rosters. You're the vet, you can say. I know a lot of guys like, I'm only like 30-something, but football age is good. Coach Shaw's even said that there's guys on this team that he points out that are like leaders in the team, and he mentioned you when I talked to him in week 1 here when you guys played in Willing. But you, as a player, becoming that leader for the Colorado, how's that type of side seeing that you had that history in the indoor game? How to go in that direction,
Or say it again, you was kind of breaking up.
knowledge of both. Coach Shaw mentioned that you were one of the leaders on the team.
Hmm.
With your experience through the indoor and arena game, how does that translate for your gather your experience to the younger guys on the current team?
Yeah, well, see, with Coach Shaw, I've been with Coach Shaw when I was in Duke City
Mhm.
in 2021, I think it was 22. So he always knew me, and when he left from there, um, he always tried to get me on his team. And so when the Duke City team ended up not having a season this year, he hit me up like twice about like, hey man, come out to Denver, man, you gonna love it. And so like after that second time he hit me up, I'm like, all right, coach, you send me the contract, I'll be out there. And ever since then, I loved it. And as far as like being the leader, I'm not more of like the vocal leader. I'm more of the one that's like come to work, do my job, and do it in the best of my ability. And I think that a lot of the younger guys see that, and a lot of them come up to me and they be like, "Oh man, you a dog, you a dog, you a dog." And I'm like, I'm just doing my job. I'm just doing what I like to do.
Well, I think we can only say you get that from a certain university that put that in your mind. I'm just saying.
Oh, trust me, no for sure. Being at Florida State, like just being around all those guys, being around Jimbo, so it instilled a lot in me as far as like being a football player, as far as growing up as a man.
Well, here's a bright side, Greg. You can understand people that speak fast because that's what Jimbo can't
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
Yes,
When
he
he
does
started
speak
talking,
fast.
you're like, "What? What are you doing, dude?"
Yep, yep. And I understand it, so
Hey,
I love State.
it's like I watched you in your college collegiate career. Were you on the team with Tamorian,
No,
or were you
so
with Naquan?
so I was there 2010, 11, and 12.
2010, 11, 12. Oh, so that was Greg Carr and Drew Weatherford.
So I was there with so wide
Wow, that's
receivers. I
going way
was
back. I'm going way back right there. Holy
yeah.
crap!
You going
Yeah,
way
you're going
back.
way, way back.
I'm going to 2005 way
Yeah,
back.
you're going way back.
Yeah, when I was there, my first year, I had Christian Ponder as a quarterback, and then I had EJ Manuel.
Yeah, he's
But
the most humble dude I've ever met. Is EJ.
yeah, so those was my
Yeah.
quarterbacks. Kenny Shaw he was my classmate. We came in together. So yeah,
Wait.
that was my class. Greg Reed, Telvin
Oh yeah.
Smith, all those guys. Yeah,
Oh, Gregory.
yeah. So I was there when them guys were there.
But a lot of people know you. Like, well, me and Jeff know you went to Florida State University, played in some big time games and big time atmospheres, especially Swamp, Miami,
Yeah.
Clemson, to name a few. Uh, what do you miss about Tallahassee?
Um, I guess the environment, just every weekend, just the environment, just being around like all the Seminole fans, and it was a party town, so it was always people there. It was always something going
Party
on. So
town?
just
No, that's not
Not
yeah,
Tallahassee.
yes, it was. Y'all better hey hey y'all better go and look back at
what, the
back in like
Coliseum days?
2010, like exactly back 2010, 2011 when they was coming out of like all the best colleges. Yeah, Florida State was like one of those best college towns.
Let's just say I spent a time or two in the Coliseum back in the day.
See, so you already you know.
Oh, I know about Tallahassee. Yeah, I know about that. Yeah, I'm an alum. I know where to go there and tally.
Oh, see, yeah.
Go
So
to
it was
for to
yeah,
the Coliseum
Guthrie,
to go to Guthrie's, and that's your evening. Boom.
yep.
I
You want
hope you
some
don't get
late
hit
night
by a car in
food?
Tennessee Street.
Yeah, exactly. Oh
Oh,
man.
oh, the
So,
memories.
Greg, we talked about you being a vet. You've played multiple places. Jim mentioned that you played at Nebraska with the
Hmm.
Danger and different places, and you've got to play with some really good quarterbacks. Nate Davis being one.
Yeah.
What knowledge do you have to give to a rookie quarterback in Sale who's really came up right now and has really been really good for you guys? What's your advice to him? And what are you seeing characteristic wise out of him that you've seen out of the good vets that you've played with?
Funny y'all say that because like me and Sale we played together as well, and so he came up under Nate, so like he kind of knows like how to beat defenses. So
Yeah.
like younger guys will come in here thinking that it's still good to do the 3-step drop, the 5-step drop. Like it's hard to do that in the arena. Like with Nate Davis is he sometimes if he see a dude way off, he just catch the ball and throw it to his man. He don't drop back.
Nope.
And a lot of time,
One
a
step.
lot exactly. So a lot of times that kind of like throw the timing off because when you got people like me that's a vet, I'm not gonna go 10 yards if the dude already sitting at 10 yards. I'm gonna just go at 8. So if you kind of know that, then you'll be already kind of ready compared to like doing like a full drop back. Because a lot of times, a lot of plays don't go as planned. Because I might have a deep post, but I might just have to cut it down. So that too. And then like I guess knowing what the defense is giving you. Because if you know what the defense is giving you, then it'll be a lot easier to just move down the field.
You said you play with Nate Davis. Nate Davis. Who in the heck is he pointing at every single time he's behind center?
He pointing at the linebacker.
Sometimes the linebacker's not even there.
I know, but it just
It's
something
his
that he programmed in his head. Like he always would be like, "Hey, Mike right, Mike left." Even if it ain't even right there, it's just him. It's just something that he instilled into himself that it's just natural habit.
That just every time I see him, it's like, who is he pointing at? It's like, why am I there? Is he pointing at someone in the first row? Like, but he of course
He pointing at somebody.
He's in the IFL. You play in both Duke City and for Danger and now NAL, so the rules are very similar. So you really didn't have no transition period because the rules are similar. But now that you're in Colorado and you're on the defensive side, we firsthand experienced Colorado's defense in the first game. And as the season progressed, your defense kept everything in. But as the offense is on your side, because I've seen you play both sides in your career, but you play mostly the offense lately. The offense in the first week was more, we're going to run, and it's open up the pass. But as the season progressed, you've been open the floodgates downfield. Is that what other defenses show you, or is that what your defense gives you the opportunity to do once you get the ball back?
Well, I think with the first game, I think it was just more of like us just going out there just seeing who was going to be the tough. Yes, and the run was working, so like it wasn't really no need to throw the ball. So at the run was working, and all the wide receivers we was blocking our tail off. So it worked. So we didn't really need to. But then once we kind of started getting to the other teams, that was kind of a little aggressive with the run. We had to start passing. And so as the weeks went along, we kind of just came up with different ways to get open, different ways to beat the defense as a unit. And I think that's what's helping us too.
Well, I can tell your offense you went from a run heavy to pass happy, and the teams that you've been playing against cannot stop the passing game from you guys. I don't know with Coach Shaw. He likes when he wants to turn it up. It's hard for teams to counter what he does. He did that in Duke City. He did that in San Antonio, and now he's doing it here in Colorado. Now back-to-back seasons in Colorado, where last year you had Whitaker. It took like a couple of games, but once Whitaker got everything under his belt, like I've said, Jeff said, and Matt said multiple episodes, Colorado just ran out of games last year. They were a hot team towards the end of the year. Right now, if you look at the standings, you're tied with Sioux City. So, but Sioux City has that, that crucial tiebreaker because of the head-to-head. You still get another chance at them later in the year, but you're tied. So the season's still up for grabs. The home seed is still up for grabs. We're halfway through the season. What you as a vet? How do you just keep going each week, preparing, rehabbing, but focusing on the next game? Because me and Jeff can both. We've talked about in the past. We're talking about playoff games here on out because that's how pivotal these games are. Seeing that the whole national division is separated by one game.
Yeah. So honestly, just keep the momentum that we basically got from when we played against the Las Vegas team, because we had already lost 2 games in a row. So just growing from that game and just how the momentum just started rising and how we all just started coming together more and more as a team and just basically communicating a lot more. If we see certain things, we go to each other, be like, "Hey, we saw this, so maybe we should do this." Even on defense, like they come up with their little things, like they be like, "Hey, I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do that." So I know we just got to keep the momentum going, and the fact that we this past weekend we just beat Idaho 49-0. Like we riding high, but we still got to understand that it's football and we can also be knocked down. So this week was a pretty good week. Um, Monday and Tuesday practice was probably one of our most focused and best practices that we done had so far. So I think we're going in the right track. We just need to keep progressing every day, and then once the games come, we just all continue to stick together.
Well, also, how does it feel being playing home games? You've been like road dogs for the beginning of the season. Now it's finally like we don't have to travel.
Four straight home games.
Yep, 4 straight. It feels amazing because like you said, going to those away games. A lot of times we don't want to travel. We have to travel and then sleeping. Even though we kind of sleep in a hotel here, but it's a lot different when you go to the away teams. So just being at home, it's a lot better. You get to interact with more of the fans during the week and stuff like that. Get to invite more people to the games. So just being here it's a lot better. Just the atmosphere of being in Denver.
Oh, Denver's also a sports city. Apparently, I think there's
Yes.
a playoff game going on tonight too with
Yes.
the
Yep.
Nuggets. So I don't know. You have a chance to go to the Pepsi. Was it the Ball Arena for
Ball
either an
Arena.
Avalanche or a Nugget game yet?
Nope, I haven't been, but Phil was just talking about we're gonna try to go on Tuesday because they have a game on Tuesday. So we're gonna try to go and see Denver play. See the Nuggets play on Tuesday. So
Playoff game. That's gonna
Yep.
be exciting. That needed a game 5 or something like that of their series. I know I'm not going to talk about Florida State 100% of the time, but Coach Shaw has a reputation in the league of being hard-nosed but very humble, but also gets his guys to play his style. You've played under many coaches, including Jimbo Fisher. Which coach enables you to be the best you can be from your collegiate days to your professional days, or can you critique each coach that gave you each? Yeah, we got it over there.
Oh, that's Dale.
No, there he is. We're just talking about him.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like
I'm at
Beetlejuice. You
the.
mention his name 3 times, he shows up.
Usually what happens.
Yeah,
There he is.
I'm at the.
Hey, that's Dale.
I'm at the wings place. It was eating some wings.
Not bad.
But as far as the coaches, I think I was kind of like all my coaches, as far as like from my high school up to my college, because my high school coach was Jesse Hester. So he was a great wide receiver, and he ended up being my coach in high school. But then once I got to Florida State, it was a lot tougher because at first I didn't know, like, because Jimbo was a hard ass, so I didn't know like the place that he was coming from when he was a hard ass. So once I kind of got into like my sophomore year, then I kind of started realizing he was like, if I don't be on you, then I don't like you. So therefore, that I'm on you, then you got to be good. And I'm like, dang, that do kind of make sense. And he want me to, and he want to push, and he want me to be the best that he know I can be. And so I respect him for that. And then like with Coach Shaw, no, not that I'm a vet, it's like he's pretty chill. Like he got his guys. Like he brought us in. He was like, these are my guys, and he basically take care of us. And he don't have us out there tearing each other head off in practice. So he try to make sure that everybody's healthy. That way, that come game time, everybody is at 100%. and then also being able to be healthy throughout the whole season.
Especially with his career, he played the indoor game because he knows how the walls are undefeated. So he knows.
Exactly. Yep.
That's one thing I like about indoor coaches that have indoor playing experience. They
Mhm.
know what the grind is of dealing with
Mhm.
different turf, different arenas, different
Yep.
style of walls, different padding. One arena could be nice state of the art, the next arena may be not so good, and you're feeling it the next day at one of those other arenas. You're like, oh, okay, I'm too old for this crap.
Exactly. Because man, like, not to say that their arena is bad, but like the Omaha, like they feel and stuff look nice, but like like it's like the turf is not like squishy, it's like hard, and so
Lots
that
of
takes it takes a toll on your knees. So I like those turf that have like that little squishy padding up underneath.
right. But you've been around the block. You've been in Duke City, so you've been in multiple big time arenas. You went there. You
Yeah.
played in Arizona. You played in
Yep.
Tucson. You've gone all the way to Wheeling. You've gone up to Green Bay. So you've been around the
Yep.
industry for a long. So, I know a lot of Florida State alums, a lot of Florida State fans, that when they think of past Florida State legends, they always talk about the ones that get to the NFL, but they never talk about the
Exactly.
indoor guys because there's a
Yep.
lot of them.
There is.
And we're
Jacksonville has
about to
had a couple.
I was about to say we're about to play one this weekend. Forston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Man,
The
Forston
Heat,
was there.
Fortson, the catch on Bobby Bowden's last game
Yep.
is the game. Is like that's
Yep.
the catch that
Yeah.
he got famous on.
Yep.
Yep.
And I remember saying, so the catch of Bobby Bowden's last game. He goes, yeah, everyone remembers me from that catch.
Like I played other games, guys. Like
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
other games like Tamorian Terry. Everyone remembers him putting this scary Terry mask
The college
against.
scale. Yep.
I won against this thing like Southern Miss, and people remember him doing that. Then the other stuff he's done in his career. I'm like, how many Florida State fans just remember some of the weird things? But what I'm trying to get at is like people look at what they could think of Florida State or Florida Miami. They think all the dudes in the NFL, but you look in the indoor like Matt Elam, a good Florida Gator, now plays in Mass. Charlie
Yep.
Hunt,
Yep.
Florida State Seminole, became a
Yep.
Jacksonville Shark legend. Naquan Nooney Murray, where
Yeah, Murray.
Jimbo kept saying Nooney the wrong so many times that he got corrected. He's now in San Antonio. Like
Okay.
now, you, Greg Dent Jr. Like you were a part of
Yeah.
the and what people don't realize, Greg, is that Drew Weatherford also played indoor arena football. He played for the Tampa
Yes,
Bay
he
Storm,
did.
and
Yep.
people forget.
Yep. He sure did.
But again, big time universities, Miami, FSU, whatever, a lot of talent in the lower levels. But you get to play against guys who go to small colleges like California University or Wheeling University or Fire Truck in Denver.
Right.
Fire Truck in Denver in your front room.
Oh man.
But
For real.
but a lot of the smaller school guys, this is basically their NFL, and you come from a Power 5, highly recruited, and you go into indoor.
Mhm.
You've played now a professional style of both sides. Do the lower level game get discredited of how good those players are compared to Power 5 conference schools and the Group of 5 schools?
Yeah, I think so because I've seen a lot of good players. I played with Delo Davis, and he didn't go to a top school, and I think he was one of the best wide receivers that I've ever seen. Um, well, I
Tiger
guess Troy he went to Marshall, but Troy Evans he's pretty
Mhm.
good. I done played with him. I've been around a couple good players.
So what I'm trying to get at there, Greg, is to the NFL scouts, and that is NFL draft weekend. Go watch some NIAA D3, D2 schools because you could
Oh,
find a guy there that is just as good as that one guy you want to get in the third round from.
exactly. Yeah.
A Power 5 team. Give the smaller schools a try. Just saying, because I've
No,
talked to you. Like, there's some good. You've played with some guys like, was it not Cato? Jeff, help me here. I'm blanking on the quarterback. What's his name?
Who? Nate?
No, Aaron Aiken.
Oh, Aaron Aiken.
Oh, Aikens, yeah.
His build, you look at him and go, holy crap, he looks like Cam Newton.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
How he's built. I'm like, how did he not get an offer to go at least try out somewhere?
Yeah.
You're saying there's some
I don't
talent
know.
there. But
It works, man. You know.
But we'll give you final questions here. Jeff, go first for Greg, so we can let him go enjoy time with his teammates there, seeing that they're at the I think wing place.
Yeah.
Outlaw wings.
Outlaw wing.
You guys have 2 more home games left. You mentioned on a 4-game streak against two American division opponents. How pivotal was that for you guys? Obviously, you're getting a Wheeling again for the second time, but you get Columbus this week. What's those non-divisional games like for you guys?
We treat them just like the divisional games. We trying to go out there and win them all. Because at the end of the day, we want to be at the top of our conference, and we just want to be at the top of our league in general. So we take those games just as serious as our individual games.
And then it's a stretch there. But before we let you go, Greg, short-term goal, long-term goal. I know we're halfway through the season, so that short-term goal may be just the rest of the season, but what's your short-term goal or final goal for this season? What's personal and team-wise?
Um, Short-term goal, I guess, just going out every week and just doing our best and just trying to get the win. Um, as far as like me, I just when the season's over, I want to be the best wide receiver in the league. And then as far as like a long-term goal with the team, you know, I want us to be able to, get to the playoffs and be able to make it to the championship game.
Good lawful goals, but we do have a question from the audience. One of our co-hosts can't make it here, Matt Patton from Omaha. What is your opinions about cowbells?
Cowbells, like in the arena.
Yeah.
Oh man, that listen, I love the cowbells because of Mississippi State, but like having cowbells inside of arena, that's it's intense.
Was it a
Like
little
it,
overkill, you're saying?
yeah, yes, it was. Yeah, I'm saying. Well, obviously, if y'all saw the game when we played Omaha, our freaking center he couldn't hear. Like he couldn't hear at all. So a couple snaps he was basically hitting his butt and his ball was hitting the ground because he couldn't hear, or we was running off of sides because he was like, I just can't hear. And I'm like, man, it's too much. But
That's
we
the
try to fight through
advantage.
it. We try exactly. So that's the advantage having the cowbells, and I respect them for it. You got to do what you got to do in order for your team to have the upper hand.
Well, you were part of a university that had the war chant playing nonstop, so I guarantee you, when teams came into Doak Campbell, staying there like, can they stop playing this dang war chant? So,
No.
hey,
And
that's
then
Doak
even with
Campbell for you.
all the fans being there, it's just so loud that you can barely even hear.
And we're having technical difficulties. The wing place is interrupting his Wi-Fi service. Anyways, when he pops up here. Yeah. It happened. So let's recap the scores, ladies and gentlemen, and see if Greg gets back up with us. But we were wrapping up with him anyways. Final score in Colorado this past week, 49-0. The Spartans over at Idaho. Also in West Virginia, the Wheeling Miners get back, or excuse me, win the series over the Carolina Cobras, 46-18. And the big game in Omaha, the Beef, big time win over the Sioux City Bandits. But yeah, and And there he went. And he went off screen. So if he comes back, he comes back. But we'll continue on the episode. So we have Players of the Game Awards. Excuse me, Player of the Games Awards. Like, I can't even speak English today. What's going on with me? The Player of the Week Awards. And they're selected. Well, I'm waiting for the screen to pop up. Give it time, ladies and gentlemen. Technology. Is it defensive player or offensive player? And Denton is back. Let's go. Well, he's back. You good?
There you are.
I'm just going to say, you're not the only one that's done that, okay? So
It's happened multiple times.
It's happened multiple times, so don't feel ashamed.
We've
had people just completely drop and forget that they were on the podcast and then message us after. It's like, oh, I thought where I was done. It's like, no, we were waiting for you. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. So you're not the only one.
Man. Yeah, I'm like, man, let me get back on here.
You're good. We were just wrapping up. Okay, I think Jeff was about to ask you a question before you went. Oh,
Okay.
you're talking about FSU and the war chant about how
That's what
loud
we're
it is.
asking.
And Jeff was about this question. Then you, the wing place decided to cut off your service.
Yep.
We covered that. I talked about the 2 American Division games they were
Okay.
playing, 2 out of 4. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Well, thank you, Matt. I know English. Greg, where can the fans find you on social media?
My IG it is Greg Dent Jr. And then it's basically the same thing on Facebook as well.
That's simple enough. That was easy when I found you. I just looked up your name and you popped up. Maybe
See?
because you have similar friends to me, like 27 in all.
Oh yeah, see. So that
When
means
you
I'll
know
pop up to your
James Coleman,
suggestion.
when you know James Coleman, you have connections. I'm like, James,
know-
Greg Day. He just says, here it is. I'm like, thank you.
Yep, there you go.
So, and a lot of people are watching. It's like, who's James Coleman? Number 36. Give the ball to the fullback. You win a game all
Exactly.
the time.
Yep.
How you do it? But
Oh,
Greg,
man.
I appreciate you joining. Go spend time with your teammates, rest up. Got a big game this weekend against a fellow Seminole and Javon Fortson. But
Yes,
Columbus
sir.
comes in with they got a chip on their shoulders because they just got nabbed at home this past weekend against Beaumont.
Yep.
But if you had a chance to say to the Colorado fans about the remainder of the season to get them to the arena, what would you say?
Come out, they don't want to miss the fun.
All right, you're hired as a promoter. Okay.
Because I will tell you, these past two home games, it's been a whole lot of fun on that field. So
Right.
Whole lot
And
of
if you got-
points. Whole
exactly,
lot of
a whole
points.
lot of points. So, and we throw a whole lot of footballs in the stands. So, if you like football to be signed. You have kids that love football. You got to come out and see us.
That's the best part of the game. You get the fans and you throw the football to the fans, and hopefully
Exactly.
that makes them come back to the game because that's what about this the arena game is about. It's about the
Yep.
community.
Yes,
Go out there
definitely
having
is.
fun, probably meet a legend or two, and you come out and enjoy.
Yep.
Oh yeah. That's why me and Jeff are in this business.
Yep.
Feel y'all
Sometimes
on that one.
Sometimes we don't like it, but we love it.
There
But
you
that's
go.
with any job. But Greg,
Yep.
I appreciate you. Go spend time with family and friends and fans. Get healthy, and probably get you back on the show here when you guys are making that playoff push.
Yes, sir. I love to talk to y'all guys again.
I appreciate it. We'll be
Yes,
back
sir.
right after this. Oh yes, and technology glitches on me. Here we are. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Yes. It's a bad case of an extended Monday, which is also known as a Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. What, you like how I said extended Monday? Because that's what it feels like sometimes.
That's what it feels like. Yeah, I agree.
Like it's like I wake up and like, God, it's still Monday, even though it's Tuesday at almost 10 o'clock at night.
We had a long weekend. A lot of football. It was WrestleMania weekend. We had a long weekend.
WrestleMania, most predictable ending of all endings of WrestleMania weekend. Yeah. I don't know what I was disappointed at, the WrestleMania ending or work.
Yeah, true.
I think it was work.
Hmm.
Crap, I gotta be adult today. But we were mentioning the Players of the Week awards here for week 7 of the week 6, excuse me, of the week 7. We're going in advance. My bad. Week 7 of the NAL. Jeff, read out the names there for me, sir.
Okay. Offensively is Carl Robinson the third for Beaumont, and then defensively is, and I always pronounce his first name incorrectly, but Gandy from Colorado, and then from the Wheeling Miners, kicker Jonathan Cardoza Chicas.
Yeah, some good individuals there on the rewards. Some questionable ones. There's some debate on the offensive player, but again, a football sport without a debate? No.
Well,
Everyone agrees. Everyone agrees with everybody, right?
Here's the thing. Here's what I always say: if you didn't vote, you can't yell. If you did vote,
that's not how it works.
That's exactly how it works.
That's a threat to my league.
If you didn't vote, then you don't have a say. If you voted, then that's fine. The and the weekly honors are fan voted, so get out there and vote.
If you can type, you can vote. That's how we do it, right? Also, final scores from the open Friday night. The Beaumont Renegades 44-37 win. Exciting matchup in Columbus. Big time, the first place matchup there. Beaumont gets the win and a 2-0 start in the division, and they take the lead. Columbus drops to 500 overall, and the other team in the American division, the Wheeling Miners, how can I say this? They won 46-18, but Grant Russell's still running for days. Every time you looked in any highlight, it looked like Grant Russell was running by himself down the sideline.
I tell you what, and you got to give credit to Fred Hargrove. He put the team on his back that first drive, catching and running the football. Every other time, it was a big mismatch. They used it to their advantage. He finds his way into the end zone for the first score, and the Miners didn't look back at all since then. So great win for them. We got a huge log jam there for the second place in the division. I mean, you've got a fight going on with Carolina, Wheeling, and Columbus. So there's a huge fight going on down there, and Rougarous are down there as well. I mean, they've haven't had a divisional game last week. They played a playing game, so that was that. But I mean, you've got obviously Beaumont is undefeated, so they're out above everybody right now. It's a real battle for that second place position, though.
It's a real battle for sure, and things get a little intriguing, especially this upcoming weekend in the NAL, and it kicks off all on the same day. We're all Saturday games, so hopefully you have multiple screens. By the way, if you didn't catch it, we were on YouTube this past weekend. Enjoyed it. A lot of good action. A lot of good broadcasts. All look pretty well. So it looks like sometimes it's a work in progress, but you get it right. But one thing that was nice not seeing was the live chat.
Yeah, so the easiest way to catch the games is if you go to NAL.com and pull down the tab and hit watch games.
Watch games.
It's right there. All of the whole library is there. It'll take you right to the games. That is the easiest, most effective, and quickest way to get your NAL football is to go to NAL.com and hit watch live games. So I mean, it's great. It takes you right to them. You can actually flip back and forth. It's the easiest way you can flip back and forth to multiple games. So with all the games being on Saturday, like you mentioned, it's going to be a really good tool for you this weekend.
And games get kicked off early, 8 o'clock Eastern time in Sioux City. At a big clash of teams that are battling to stay in the playoff picture. The Sioux City Bandits host the Beaumont Renegades at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central. Also, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central, Carolina Cobras travel to the Shreveport Ruberu to see if they can get back into the mix of things. Shreveport host the game, and they're currently 1-0 in division play, but still at that record of 1-2 on the mark. And they still got to make a chance, make a run. So we'll see what happens. So the big matchup there at 8 o'clock. So you got a doubleheader on YouTube at 8 o'clock. Carolina at Shreveport, Beaumont at Sioux City. Then the nightcap kickoff 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern on both games. In Idaho, the Las Vegas Kings travel to the Idaho Horsemen. Idaho looks trying to get a bounce back win over their performance in Colorado. And also the showdown in Denver. Prime time in the Denver Coliseum. Spartans and Lions. Big matchup to cap off a weekend. Those 4 games right there. What game stands out to you there, Jeff?
I think it's going to be that Columbus and Colorado matchup. I think it's going to be, Colorado's catching steam. Columbus stumbled a little bit on Thursday night against or on Friday night, excuse me, against Beaumont. So I think that's a definitely intriguing matchup there. And also the other one to look out for is 2 teams looking to bounce back and make statements is Shreveport and Carolina. So that's an intriguing one as well.
One of the games I want to for me watching this, I look at 2 games, and it's a lot of playoff implications. I know we're halfway through the season. You go, Jim, we still got 5 to 6 weeks into the playoffs. Well, dang it, this is our podcast here in National Marine League, and my postseason begins midway through. So we have what you could say we have group play, like in the World Cup, we have group matchups. So, so we're in pod play right now. We haven't gotten to the knockout stage yet. The 2 games that stand out to me this week, and I think that will have pivotal playoff implications, is again, you mentioned the first one, it's primetime, the cap off Columbus traveling to Colorado. It's because if Colorado gets that win, they're 4-2.
Mm-hmm.
So they're 4-2. And I know it's not a division; they're 4-2 overall. But by that time that game is over, you got 2 divisions that have major implications. If Columbus stumbles, Wheeling and Carolina, depending on how Carolina Shreveport end up, the winner of that game right there,
door opens.
The door just doesn't open. It's right now. It's cracked like that. If Columbus falls, that's wide open to a point where you got 3 teams, possibly the whole rest of the division, trying to get back into the mix of things. Especially Wheeling, who's got back-to-back wins in a pivotal matchup next week when they travel to Colorado. So that's going to be a key game to look into next week. But vice versa, what happens if the gates go the other way? Sioux City beats Beaumont and Columbus wins. Then Columbus is back in the fold for the 1 seed in the American division. Beaumont has that 1.5, almost that 2-game lead already right off the bat. This weekend it's not make or break. It can just determine where in the American division it can open up the whole division for the 2 spots, or it can narrow it down to where it could be just a 2-team race in the American division, especially where there's still more football to be played. But we can see a turn of events this weekend that could determine, I don't know, in 2-3 weeks from now, we're talking about possibly the whole league still able to make a postseason push. Those 2 games, I think, are going to be pivotal this week.
Yeah, and I mean, that's one of those things that Sioux City is the only team that has seen Beaumont, and we'll see them again this far this season. So, I mean, they've got film on them, obviously, but they've also got in-game film against them. So that's going to tell as well. And, Verlon Reed is looking like Verlon Reed again. I mean, he really, this past weekend, unfortunately in a losing effort to to Omaha, he did what he had to do to keep his team in it. So I mean, they're definitely got a bad taste in their mouth after losing to Beaumont in week 1 and losing to Omaha this past week. So look out for Sioux City, definitely.
Well, it's a intriguing weekend, that's for sure. But we're also halfway through the season.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, you can follow all the information from the National Arena League at NAL Football on Twitter, Instagram, and on Facebook. Search National Arena League on Facebook or go to nationalarenaleague.com. Remember, you can watch the games at nationalarenaleague.com. Click on the Watch Games tab, click on there, and you can watch it from your laptop. Similar setup on your computer, but you can find your way to do so. Officially updated standings will be posted tomorrow. That will be official updated standings, so we know where everyone lies. So when you get ready for this weekend, you know what your team needs to get done to get in the top 2. But we'll find out when the standings drop tomorrow when they become official. Any final words there, Jeff?
No, just an exciting weekend, and look forward to the exciting matchups like we talked about. See who makes a step closer. I mean, one thing we have mentioned: what a competitive league that we have this season. I mean, really, every team has played really well. Some things go different ways. We could be looking at a totally different rankings in the divisions.
Well, I do have to say this, my friend. Based on this past week performance, we cannot have every team finish 500.
Hey, we're close, right? So we're getting there. We're getting there.
I forgot to text you during the game up there when you're on Brock. It's like, oh, your prediction is done, got eliminated because you needed Carolina to win to keep that potential of the 500s for everybody in the league. So just saying.
Well, that's another thing, right? So I finally got to call a game, first time in a month and a half, and now I got to sit again. I'll be sitting for 2 weeks.
Well, how did I describe this? It's like being a starting pitcher in
That's exactly what I was going to say.
You only pitch every 4 weeks, over 4 or 5 starts. So you get ready, you pitch your first game, like, all right, 4 days, 5 days, and by the time you go up, you're like, well, thank God I'm the ace in this pitch. But again, it's what it is. And of course, we're in April. That means we got postseason hockey going on, postseason basketball going on. We got the NFL draft Thursday. We got to talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. What you thinking? We have 70 people watching. What you thinking? Who goes number 1? Who will be the team that reaches for somebody? That's the question. And I guarantee you, well, not guarantee because we have a new coaching staff. I was going to say, well, if history tells it's usually Cleveland or Jacksonville that does the outrageous thing and drafts somebody way before they're supposed to be drafted.
We're both going to do it. It's just going to
it's inevitable. It always happens. I was like, well, you picked him at 7 when you could have got him. Like,
there's a couple different. That's what's crazy about this year's draft. There's a couple of different directions that both teams could take. It just depends on what they think their needs are and what their needs really are. So it's hard to say.
Okay.
I don't know.
What position goes first the most? What position gets picked where everyone starts freaking out and starts picking that same position? Every year something happens like that.
I think it's defensively. I think it's defensive line, and then you're gonna see like a slew of corners go. I think that's what's gonna happen. Is you're gonna go defensively, and everybody's gonna go defensive line, and then boom, boom, boom. You're just gonna see across. I mean,
so we thinking Cam Ward number 1.
I don't want to.
Or you think,
that.
or is it Shador?
I don't know. I don't want to admit that it's Cam Ward.
Oh yeah, that's the reason why. Yeah. But hey, he'll go on to Tennessee, so
yeah. I mean,
his career will put out anyways at Tennessee. Come from the Jaguars fan, okay? Like I need to take a jab at my rivals. But that's what I'm planning on doing this year is going to Tennessee for a game, NFL game, hopefully.
There you go.
Where is the draft being held at this year?
Green Bay.
Are they able to play games yet in Green Bay? Is it warm enough for them up there? Just kidding. I know it's fine. The ice melted 2 weeks ago. I understand.
Yeah, they're fine. They're good.
All right. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 184. Remember, for any updated news of the National Arena League, visit nationalarenaleague.com. Also visit NWallsPod at NWallsPod for updated information and news of the National Arena League, certified by the certified outlets.
Busy day for the network tomorrow. 2 shows going on, right?
I think there's 3 shows, but yeah, there's 2. Yeah.
Wow.
I want to say we got Through the Wire, hosted by Jeff Blumener and myself and Coach Rez. I think we already have a players coming on. So that'll be at 6 o'clock Eastern. And me and Bob will be recapping some of the IFL action with our show. And of course, I think Sioux City is dropping a show tomorrow night as well. So you got 3 hours of straight content from Inside the Walls Network tomorrow from Miners, Sharks, and Sioux City for InsideTheWalls.com.
Cool.
Then there's extended weekend because of the NFL draft.
Woo!
I'm waiting for Thursday. It happens every year. Breaking news: the Jacksonville Jaguars have been mathematically eliminated from the postseason. With the 7th pick of the NFL draft, the Jaguars have been eliminated from the postseason contention. That's what happens sometimes. That's the misery that is Jacksonville. Talk. Okay. We had a spicy episode yesterday, by the way. Spicy.
Oh yeah.
But hey, that's cool. To all the fans here in the National Arena League, bid you adieu. Hopefully everything is well on your end. If you're listening to this on the podcast platform, remember we are live every Tuesday at 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central, and 7 o'clock Mountain Time. So if you want to watch us live every Tuesday, and occasional Thursday shows based on news and information from the league. Jeff, any final words?
I just, like we mentioned, check out all the content on Inside the Walls Network tomorrow. 3 hours, you said? Ooh, that's awesome.
Probably.
Yeah. So catch Through the Wire tomorrow. That's going to be interesting. We're all going to be, in our regular location, so that'll be interesting to see how that's going to go.
Someone's computer might die because of battery.
Yeah. Internet, something. Yeah,
we might not start on time. Traditional.
That's why we put 6:05. Okay. But no. Like we mentioned, everybody was wondering where the games were at. Couldn't find the games on YouTube. Everything else, easiest way to do it: NAL.com. Bring the bar down at the top and watch games. So great setup there. So big shout out to Steven Shatola for doing that and getting everything. And what's great too is when it brings it down, it has the entire slate for the weekend, so you can literally toggle back and forth between the games. So it's awesome. All the games are there, so for your viewing enjoyment. So definitely check those out.
And you can watch the games and pay attention to the games without being distracted at the same time.
Yes, that's wonderful. You can just watch games. You don't have to worry about turning the chat off because it's already gone.
Yep. Which is a good feature. I like how they decided to do that. So great games, great action this week. Week 8 of the NAL season is upon us. It's all on Saturday. It's going to kind of stink, but hey, we watch college football and all the games are on Saturday. Well, can't say all the games are. There's some on Tuesday or something. I digress. But 99.9% of the games are played on Saturday on college football.
Right.
But hey. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, reach out. To all the people who have been reaching out, DMing me about information, I'm not allowed to tell you. But at the same time, nationalarenaleague.com, if they say it, we say it, so you know. So thank you for the love and support, for watching us. Over 75 people watching us right now live. Appreciate it. Much love and respect. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is Jeff from West Virginia, which they got to play their music to this week.
Yep.
And I am Jim from Duval, in the words of Liam Cohen. With that, ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 184 of Inside the Walls podcast. We'll see you guys next week, same time, same place, as we break down week 8 of the National Arena League. Be well, drive safe. We'll see you next week.